Hey guys, Dave from Midwest Sports here to talk about the latest silo from Head. This is the Head Gravity Pro. Technical name for it is the Head Graphene 360 Plus Gravity Pro, but a lot of new concepts at work in this new line. I was fortunate enough to go to Rome back in May to kind of get a sneak peek on these rackets, and they're endorsed by Alexander Zverev, kind of young, next-gen, up-and-coming ATP star. And you can kind of look at it a little bit as at least inspired by the speed silo of rackets that Head's made for a number of years. So this kind of takes a lot of the player-focused tenets of the speed platform and kind of updates them for kind of the modern game. So maybe a little tough to tell from here, but the shape of the head, besides the color, color's kind of cool here where there's something going on each side, but the shape of the head is actually Head says a teardrop. I'm not sure if I'd say it's quite a teardrop, but the head kind of rounds a little bit more towards the tip of the frame, and the idea behind that is to raise the sweet spot up where better players, the player that's kind of geared, that the gravity's geared towards, tend to hit the ball off center towards the tip of the frame. So the idea is to raise the sweet spot up through the head shape. Racket also uses Graphene 360, which is Head's proprietary technology, where they put the material at 3 and 9, 12, and then also in the throat of the frame. It acts to stabilize the frame when you hit the ball off center, and that's kind of tried and true technology. It's been in the speed line. It was in the update to the Radical line as well. Head actually takes it one step further. They call it Graphene 360 Plus, and that's where they incorporate material called spiral fiber in sort of the shoulders of the frame here. And the idea behind that is it just gives it a little bit more of a flex. The best way I can put it from playing with this quite a bit is kind of makes you feel like you get a little more dwell time when the ball sits on the racket, sits on the string bed. You just feel like you have a little better control with it. It feels a little crisper as well, but without sacrificing power. I mean, these are not power rackets by any stretch. They're control rackets, meant for somebody who takes a really full swing at the ball, the modern game, heavy topspin. This particular model, it's 11.7 ounces, very thin, 20 millimeter beam, headlight. So it's kind of the de facto spec for a lot of the players' rackets these days, but really geared for somebody that takes a full swing at the ball. It's called the Gravity Pro, so kind of insinuates you gotta be pretty good to play with it. You don't have to be a pro, but nevertheless, 18 by 20 string pattern. So a lot of the things about this racket really lend itself well to control, feel, and actually a decent amount of forgiveness. Surprisingly, I'm not a full poly player. I prefer a hybrid, but playing with these during our initial play test, we had them strung with full poly. It's definitely one of the most compliant 18 by 20 string pattern rackets I've ever hit with. That being said, you do still have to hit it in the middle, but definitely rewards that more advanced player seeking kind of an evolution of a player's type frame. The spiral fiber, I think there is something to that, and worth a play test, I think, in any event. This is Head's first new racket silo for a number of years, but looks to be a really good one for the future. This is the Head Gravity Pro.